Hello there, and welcome to the inaugural tournament of the Amateur Marble Association. This is a brand new marble league in which 16 amateur marbles will be going head to head in order to try make a name for themselves in the big leagues. So, who are these 16 marbles? Martian, Macaw, Splatter, Typhoon, Milky Way, Ripple, Locust, Spearmint, Whiteout, Frostbite, Rainforest, Amber, Rosé, Paladin, Mallard, and Honeycomb. Over the course of this tournament, these marbles will be competing in a series of events, the first of which is the Downhill Dash, which sees competitors racing to the bottom of a long track in order to reach the end as quickly as they can. While the beginning of the track is marked out with lane ropes to keep competitors separate, these eventually fall to the wayside in favor of an open track, allowing for full mobility from the racers as well as full contact and collisions. In our very first heat, we have Martian, Macaw, Mallard, and Rose all going head to head. The anticipation is building, and they're off. Martian out to a quick lead. Oh, but Rosé out of nowhere snakes in front and is able to take the lead. Look at that start from Martian, only for a slight nudge from Mallard to send Rosé to the front. And Martian is only barely going to hang on to second place. Rosé and Martian will move on to the next round. After an exciting heat, we'll see what the next four can do. Splatter, Locust, Paladin, and Rainforest, all going head to head. They're all eagerly awaiting the start. And there they go. Oh, two quick collisions, and that sends Paladin and Splatter flying off to the side. Rainforest and Locust will hang on for first and second. Look at those early collisions, and that just allows Rainforest and Locust to completely block out the two blue marbles. And from there, there's nothing they can do but careen off to the side, leaving Rainforest and Locust to move on. We're now heading into the third matchup of the initial heats, and we have Frostbite, Amber, Whiteout, and Milky Way all looking to show what they're worth. There appears to be some pre-race nerves as everyone tries to get steady, and there they go, everyone holding a good line except for Frostbite, and that's going to be costly. Frostbite goes out wide, and it allows Milky Way and Whiteout to get ahead in spite of Frostbite's good lead. Milky Way and Whiteout actually bumping into each other, but it doesn't end up mattering as they are able to go 1 and 2. Milky Way just barely inching out ahead of Whiteout, and they will move on. We're now into the final heat, which will feature Typhoon, Ripple, Spearmint, and Honeycomb. Let's see what they can do. Oh, immediate disaster for Honeycomb, who crashes out on the ropes. We're going to have to take a closer look, see what happened there. Meanwhile, out in front, Typhoon gets off to a great start, and Ripple is able to box out Spearmint for those two to comfortably take the lead. But Honeycomb hitting that rope and just losing all momentum. Tragic. The show must go on, and here is the first semi-final. Rainforest, Whiteout, Locust, and Rosé. Who will move on? Oh, a lot of collisions right out of the gate. Whiteout bumping around between everyone and somehow manages to come out on top with Locust in second. Look at this. All three marbles bumping Whiteout around, clearly trying to get Whiteout out of position. But it's not going to matter as Whiteout just barely scrapes ahead in first place. That is seriously insane. We're now moving on to our last four marbles, looking to get a spot in the finals. Ripple, Typhoon, Milky Way, and Martian. Who will it be? They're off now. Ripple out to an early lead. The other three bunching up, and Martian will bump its way to second place. Ripple comfortably taking the lead, though. Look at this, Ripple getting out clear, whereas the other three all bunch up, and actually, Ripple gets a little nudge there from Typhoon that sends it ahead even further. Martian, meanwhile, able to box out and just get there, barely taking away second place. So here we are, one last race left in the Downhill Dash. Just four marbles, Martian, Whiteout, Locust, and Ripple. Who will take away the win? They're off now. Whiteout taking a quick lead. Martian goes out wide. Oh, wow. And that is a very close finish for second. Whiteout is going to comfortably take the lead there. But look at how close this is. All four marbles staying right in line. Martian does take a wider lane, whereas Locust cuts across. And while Whiteout does get there in first, look at how close that fight is between second and fourth. Martian gonna just barely scrape away ahead. Locust in third, and Ripple, despite winning the previous race, comes in fourth. Still a terrific effort from all four marbles to get this far. A job very well done. And that will be the first event all wrapped up. Whiteout gonna take away 10 points, first place overall. Martian 7, Locust 5, Ripple 3. The rest of the semi-finalists that didn't make it this far all take away 2 points, and the rest of the competition still yet to score. Will that change today? There's only one way to find out, and that'll be jumping right in to the Funnel Frenzy, our second event. In this event, our 16 marbles will be competing in heats of 4, attempting to make their way to the bottom of 4 funnels as slowly as possible. Contrary to a usual race where you want to get to the end as quickly as you can, in this race endurance and stamina pays off. With that all out of the way, we've got 4 marbles excited and ready to go. Kicking things off today, we have Typhoon, Locust, Whiteout and Rose, all looking to make their mark today. Whiteout, of course, coming off a win in the last event, and they're off. It looks like it's going to be Typhoon dropping to the inside quickly. That's not what you want to see, and Typhoon will be the first to drop through, followed by Rose. Locust and Whiteout circling at the top, and it will be Locust who hangs on the longest in that top funnel. Typhoon, meanwhile, going to drop all the way to that third funnel, followed by Rose, so the order will still stand. Locust doing a very nice job of holding on to that top spot. Doesn't want to give up an inch, and here we go. Rose going to drop through with Typhoon, and the order is still staying firm. Can Locust hold on long enough, and can Rose manage to box out long enough to stay alive? No, Rose will drop through. Oh, and out of nowhere, Whiteout is going to overtake Locust, and Locust comes through in second. Locust will advance, but Whiteout going to take that victory. And we're seeing here in the replay just how strong of a lead Locust had. All the way to the end was in the lead, and even though Locust will move on, that nudge from Whiteout proving fatal, as Whiteout, coming off a win last event, will win again. Competing now in our second heat, we have Splatter, Honeycomb, Milky Way and Mallard. What can they do? There they go, everyone out to a quick start. Oh, and not a good start there for Honeycomb, dropping through already. It's going to be Mallard and Splatter up the top. Oh, and now Mallard going to go through into third. Honeycomb, meanwhile, already finished. Clearly not a fan of funnel racing at all. And despite dropping into the second funnel first, it's going to be Milky Way who's suddenly in the lead. Splatter's early lead is gone. And while Splatter will hang on to second place for now, it's not a guarantee. Is Mallard going to be able to hang on long enough? No, Mallard will drop through, meaning Splatter and Milky Way will be moving on. Splatter dropping through now, and Milky Way will take out a win in the second heat. That's got to feel good after a strong performance last event as well. Looking through at the replay now, Honeycomb just unable to get any traction on that plastic funnel surface and slides around right to the bottom. Meanwhile, Milky Way does the opposite. Despite entering the second funnel first, Milky Way hangs on for a long time and pulls out the win. Moving into our third heat now, we have Rainforest, Ripple, Amber and Macaw. Ripple, the only marble here to make the finals last time. Will that precedent continue? Here they go, one way to find out. It's race time, and it's going to be Rainforest dropping through, followed by Ripple, our previous finalist. Not looking as good. Oh, and we've got a situation up the top. Oh wow, we have two marbles, Amber and McCaw, coming to a halt, and we are going to have to redo that. As they were in the first funnel, all is well and fair to call that a false start, and we will restart, and here we go, Rainforest and Ripple dropping through early again. Meanwhile, McCaw drops through, leaving Amber up the top. Oh, and despite coming in third into that second funnel, it's McCaw who drops through already. Rainforest, meanwhile, first to enter that, is going to hang on to second as Ripple drops in third place. Amber still holding on to that lead very comfortably. A very solid race from Amber so far. Not at all shaken up by that incident. Meanwhile, McCaw can't say the same, as while McCaw does overtake Ripple, who finishes fourth, McCaw going to drop through in third place, meaning Rainforest and Amber are the two marbles that will move on. And they're having a nice little jostle for position here that ends with Rainforest in second and Amber taking out first place. What started as a very close race at the start ended up becoming a blowout as Rainforest and Amber hang on for a long time. Look at that, Amber still in the third funnel when we got our first finisher. Moving into our last heat here, we have Paladin, Martian, Frostbite and Spearmint. Two marbles will take up the final two spots in that semi-final round. And it's time to find out who that's going to be as our four marbles race ahead. Ooh, and a collision there sends Frostbite down quickly, followed by Paladin and Spearmint, leaving Martian currently at the top. Martian pulling out a second place finish in the last event. Already off to a great start. Can they continue? And Spearmint is going to drop through, leaving Paladin in second place. That's a big shift early on. And can Paladin make the most of it? Oh wow, Spearmint, who was looking great at the start, all the way in fourth now, about to finish, and Martian just extending that lead even further. There we go, Spearmint drops through, chokes a beautiful lead, and Frostbite will finish in third, leaving Paladin to move on, as well as Martian, who is going to take out this heat. That's got to feel disappointing for Spearmint, who is yet to score in this tournament, and had a golden opportunity there, holding its own against Martian, only to drop through very quickly. We're now looking at the first round of the semi-finals, Paladin, Milky Way, Amber, and Locust. Who will take those first two spots in the finals? They're off now, and we're going to find out shortly. Paladin not looking good off the start, and Paladin will drop through, followed by Locust. Amber going to drop afterwards, leaving Milky Way at the top, and Milky Way looking very nice. Meanwhile, Paladin already dropping through, and Locust shortly following. So the order will stay the same as they enter the third funnel. Will anything change? And actually, it looks like it has, as Locust able to bump around Amber a bit. And now Amber's going to drop through. Locust, who was in third, actually looking at a chance of going back-to-back in making finals. Paladin going to drop through now, no chance of scoring any more points. Amber also going to drop through, so a very nice comeback there from Locust to take second place. Meanwhile, we just have an absolute field day there from Milky Way, who dominates this race from start to finish. Look at that performance, and Locust, meanwhile, able to overcome an early disadvantage by taking Amber out. The last race of these semi-finals is Rainforest, Whiteout, Martian, and Splatter. What will they be able to do? Everyone off to a quick start there, and it's looking like it's Martian dropping through first. Not a good start at all. Ooh, and Rainforest will also drop through once again. It's Whiteout who's putting up a dominant performance. Splatter currently in second, but Splatter and Rainforest looking neck and neck, and Rainforest will drop through just ahead of Splatter. Will we see another comeback like we saw with Locust? All the marbles going head to head now. There they go. They're both around that hole, and Rainforest is going to hang on. So at the moment, it's looking like Rainforest might be in a good spot as we have our first finisher in Martian. And there we go, Splatter dropping through, so a nice recovery by Rainforest. Meanwhile, we have absolutely no competition there for Whiteout, who doesn't waver one bit. Splatter did have a good start there, but Rainforest is going to be able to hold on, and Rainforest and Whiteout will advance into our final race here, where they will compete alongside Locust and Milky Way. The anticipation in the stadium is building. What will they do? Here they go, everyone off to a very nice looking start, bunching up a lot of collisions, and it's going to be Rainforest, followed by Whiteout dropping through, Locust up top in the lead. Whiteout has been dominant this entire day, and now when it matters most, Whiteout almost going to drop through first there. No, Whiteout will box out against Rainforest enough, and Milky Way takes the lead off Locust. Locust had a very nice race last race, and yet looking a bit shaky here. Who will drop through into that final funnel between Milky Way and Locust will take back the lead. This is such a great back and forth as Locust takes back the lead from Milky Way, and it's going to be Rainforest dropping through in fourth, followed by Whiteout after a first place finish. Locust going head to head here, and Milky Way drops through first, so Locust will take out the first place in this event. An amazing effort coming off a third place finish last race, and look at this, Locust off to a quick start, only for Milky Way to fight back, and then it's just barely going to be Locust who takes it away in the end. What an exciting race we had there. And let's see what that does to the leaderboard. Locust moving up into first place alongside Whiteout. Meanwhile, Milky Way able to move up to third with Martian. Rainforest picking up some more points is going to go into fifth, while Ripple doesn't score this time, still sitting in sixth. And Typhoon, Rose, Paladin, Amber, Splatter all with 2 points. The rest of the competition yet to put any points up on the board. Those last marbles definitely will be looking to score here in the Rocky Road. This is a difficult outdoor event that sees competitors aiming to make it as far down a course as they can, as quickly as they can, aiming to reach a finish line at the bottom. However, if no marbles finish, the marbles that make it the furthest down the course will win. With that out of the way, let's take a look at our first heat's competitors. Frostbite, Macaw, Spearmint, and Rose, all looking to pick up their first podium finishes. And here they go, everyone making their way down quickly, and it's going to be Spearmint absolutely demolishing the rest of the competition, all of whom do not make it far. Look at that start from Spearmint, getting airtime as he bounces his way down to the finish line very quickly, and while the others don't make it far, it will be Frostbite that moves on. Looking now at our second heat, we have 4 more marbles ready to go. Milky Way, Splatter, Typhoon, and Martian. What can they do here? They're awaiting the start, and there they go, all 4 marbles spreading apart. Typhoon won't make the finish, but will make it the furthest. And we have a close contest between Martian and Splatter. Meanwhile, Milky Way not getting far. And it's going to be Martian just barely taking out second place ahead of Splatter. So Typhoon and Martian will move on, guaranteed at least semi-finalist points. And for the first time, Milky Way won't be scoring any points at all. Taking a look now at our third heat, and we have 4 more marbles, all looking to make that semi-final. Mallard, Paladin, Whiteout, and Honeycomb. Whiteout has been incredibly consistent so far, and there they go. Whiteout takes a lead early. Oh, but there's going to be a bit of a nudge there. Who will come out on top? It will be Honeycomb and Paladin not moving on, and Mallard will take away a win against Whiteout. So the champion of this entire tournament so far finishes second to Mallard, who is yet to score any points, and we get another disappointing finish from Honeycomb. And last but not least, we have our 4th and final heat, Ripple, Rainforest, Amber, and Locust. Who will take those last 2 spots in the finals? Everyone off to a quick start. Oh, Ripple goes off the course and back on, and it's now Amber that goes off the course, and Ripple will actually pass by Amber. Wow, what an exciting turn of events. Ripple taking first place, Amber taking second. Both of them went off the course at one stage, but Ripple made his way back on. Look at that, Ripple going straight off the edge. And while Amber goes off afterwards, Ripple will just very slowly make its way past and eventually settles down near the finish line in first place. So here we have it, the semi-finals. 8 teams remaining, 4 going head-to-head here, Amber, Martian, Spearmint, and Mallard. There they go, and Amber off to a very fast start. Spearmint trying to play catch-up and get stuck, but it actually will be Spearmint who comes out on top. Amber got stuck off to the side, and wow! Amber's quick start doesn't prove that useful as even Mallard gets by Amber. Look at that quick start, only for Amber to come to a complete stop and the 2 green marbles pass, with Spearmint getting very close to a second finish, stopped only by a slight veer. So we have 4 more marbles here looking to make the finals: Ripple, Whiteout, Typhoon, and Frostbite. Which 2 will move on? They're off to a very quick start there, and it's going to be Typhoon! Wow, everyone veering off to the sides quickly, and that's going to leave Typhoon in first. And in a close finish, Ripple will take second. Typhoon and Ripple move on. Whiteout, first time not making the finals, and Frostbite won't move on, but will score much needed points that Frostbite was yet to have. What a scattered race, all the marbles veering out to the side, and our top 2 actually finishing off the course. So here we go, one last race: Typhoon, Spearmint, Ripple, and Mallard. All 4 marbles here will score some nice points, but who will win? Here they go, it's Spearmint off to a very quick start as per usual, but the 2 marbles behind close in, and it will be Typhoon. Typhoon gonna take out the first place there as Spearmint all of a sudden just hit a rock and stopped. Mallard does veer off to the side, losing out on first place, but will take second. And Ripple is going to finish in fourth for the second time. Mallard, most impressively, coming second in this event despite being one of just 5 marbles to have no points coming in. And look at that, Spearmint has been dominant all day but just got stopped up. Looking at the scoreboard, it is going to be Whiteout holding that first place with only 2 more points added, but Typhoon jumping all the way up into third after that effort. Also seeing Spearmint jumping into that top 8, while Frostbite scores its first points, leaving just Macaw and Honeycomb yet to score. But all of that could change as we move into our 4th event, the Jenga Jumble. This is a downhill race through a maze of giant Jenga blocks that will lead our marbles down to the bottom of the track. Though where a race may require speed usually, this is far more skill-based as an optimal line will be needed in order to make it to the bottom quickly. So without further ado, we'll make our way into our first heat. Whiteout, Typhoon, Spearmint, and Macaw. Macaw, of course, yet to score, while Whiteout is top of the tables. And here we go, it's going to be Spearmint out quickly, but Typhoon takes the lead. And now Macaw takes the lead off Typhoon and will win with Whiteout, as per usual, advancing, taking second place. What a topsy-turvy race. Spearmint out quickly but gets stuck there, and Typhoon is able to overtake. But as they make their way down further, Typhoon gets caught up, and it's going to be Macaw with a straight line to the end, bouncing directly from that middle section all the way to the bottom. We'll now be moving on to our second heat with 4 more marbles: Splatter, Honeycomb, Rainforest, and Rosé, all looking to see what they can do on this course. Everyone's awaiting that starting buzzer eagerly now. And there they go, Rainforest out quickly, taking that top line while Honeycomb falls behind. And Rainforest, absolutely dominant performance, takes it far ahead of the rest of the pack. Meanwhile, it seems like Honeycomb doesn't finish, getting stuck in a corner. Look at this start, everyone out quickly except for Honeycomb, who lags behind, just barely making it out of that first section, and once again almost getting stuck twice before wedging in a corner. Meanwhile, it's a field day for Rainforest, who absolutely destroys the competition. Splatter able to outlast Rose, and finishing second there will also move on. Heading now into our third round of the heats, we have Paladin, Milky Way, Mallard, and Frostbite. Who will come out on top? There's only one way to find out. It's going to be Frostbite early on, but oh, Mallard very quickly takes a big lead. Paladin in second. Oh, but Frostbite bumps Paladin out of the way, and Frostbite will get back into second after that nice start. Look at this lead from Frostbite completely falling away as Mallard takes a huge lead and Paladin also takes second. But as Paladin hits that divider, Frostbite uses the opportunity to bump him out and get into second. So here we are now in the final heat, Ripple, Amber, Martian and Locust. Just two semi-final spots left and they're off. It's going to be Locust out quickly, but he very suddenly gets overtaken by Ripple, who is going to run it out to the line. But we had a close finish there between Locust and Amber. We'll have to take a look at that in the replay. Locust's lead starts out nicely, but as Locust hits that middle divider and doesn't come off well, Ripple takes a commanding lead that he holds to the very end, and Locust just barely finishes over Amber at the end of that, making the semi-finals, the first of which is Frostbite, Macaw, Mallard, and Ripple. And they're off now, everyone off to a good start. It's going to be Ripple, but Ripple hits the divider, letting Frostbite and Macaw through, and it's going to be Macaw with Frostbite just barely finishing in front of Mallard, who almost mounts a great comeback. Look at this start here as Ripple gets out quickly, only hitting that middle divider, allowing Frostbite, Macaw, and Mallard to all pass. And as they make their way down, it will be Macaw getting the cleanest entry to the finish line, while Frostbite just barely beats out Mallard. And despite being on 0 and 2 points respectively, Macaw and Frostbite will advance. For now though, it's Whiteout, Locust, Splatter, and Rainforest looking to make the finals. Who will those last two marbles be? Here they go, it's time to find out. Everyone out to a quick lead, and it will be Rainforest and Whiteout. Yes, it will. Whiteout holding a nice lead there, and Rainforest just making sure to stick to second. Getting out to a very fast start, but loses out some time as he hits that divider, allowing Whiteout a clean finish, taking out first place. Rainforest able to finish ahead of Splatter and Locust in third and fourth. So here we go, just one race left, and our finalists are Whiteout, Frostbite, Macaw, and Rainforest. No matter who wins, Whiteout will stay on top of the ladder, but the others could move up a lot. And here they go. Will they be able to do it? It's Macaw early, but Rainforest takes the lead off him. And Rainforest is going to hold on the entire time. Frostbite second, Macaw third, and Whiteout fourth, despite a strong showing so far. Macaw's lead falls apart quickly in that bend there as Rainforest takes the lead and holds it for the rest of the time. Macaw doing nicely to try overtake Frostbite, but Frostbite holds off for second. What will that do to the leaderboard? While the top two don't change, Rainforest makes a sudden appearance in the top three, taking those 10 points to a pre-existing 5. Frostbite also going to make its way into the top 8, pushing Ripple out, and Macaw finally gets off the bottom. This is the target takeoff, which will see marbles careening down a long tubular track, only to hit a ramp at the bottom, sending them high into the air, after which they will attempt to land in one of 7 targets. Any of the 4 clear targets scores them a single point, any of the blue scores them 2 points, and the green is for a maximum 3 points. The winning marble of each round moves on. With that said, we'll move into the first round between Splatter and Mallard. Splatter making its way down the track now. Will they be able to score? And no, Splatter gonna hit that 3-point mark, but doesn't pull up quick enough, and that's going to leave Splatter out the edge. Can Mallard do any better? Mallard coming down now, and Mallard is going to score 3 points. What a nice effort there as Mallard goes way too high and short, but
off a bounce is actually able to recover. So Mallard will move on to that quarterfinal in the top 8. Moving on now to our second round, we have Amber taking on Paladin. Amber currently heading down the track. Oh, but bouncing off that middle divider isn't going to pick up any points. Paladin now coming down, just needs to score anything in order to move on. Can Paladin do it? Yes, Paladin bounces around and ultimately will rest in the 2-point region. Initially lands in the 3-point area, but after bouncing around will settle for 2. However, any score would have been enough as Paladin moves on and Amber is eliminated. Heading now into our third round, we have Ripple taking on Honeycomb. Who will come out on top as Ripple is now making its way down the track? What will Ripple be able to do? Ooh, Ripple bouncing out of that 3-point area, but will still pick up a single point, and sometimes that could be all you need. We'll have to see how Honeycomb responds. Will Honeycomb be able to score more than a single point here? Honeycomb misses far out to the right, and Ripple will move on. Honeycomb does come up short, but we saw with Mallard that can sometimes be your best friend, as Mallard bounced into the 3-point. Ripple will move on though, as Honeycomb does not do the same. And we now have Rainforest and Frostbite. Rainforest going to go long and fast, and that is not what you want, as you want to be able to slow down enough to pull up and stay in one spot. Can Frostbite now correct that mistake? Yes! Frostbite gonna hit that middle left section, but after bouncing off is gonna rest just barely staying in the 2 points, and that will be enough for Frostbite to move on. As we now look at the next round, Amber and Spearmint. Amber gonna come hard off that middle divider and won't pick up any points. Can Spearmint secure any score at all in order to move on? Here he comes, and yes, Spearmint going to nail that 1-point area. Doesn't bounce around at all, and that will be a comfortable victory for Spearmint, eliminating Amber and moving on to the next round. Coming up now, we have another heat, and it will be Typhoon taking on Rose. Typhoon heading down first, coming out of the end of the tube there, and Typhoon gonna bounce out of that 3-point area. So far, we're yet to see anyone comfortably land in there. Mallard, the only 3-point scorer, bounced in. Can Rose prove that wrong? Rose heading in now, and Rose does just that! Rose, no worries whatsoever, lands directly in the 3-point range and sticks the landing. Rose will very easily move on and made that seem effortless. Typhoon going to be eliminated there. So we're now moving on to the next heat, and it will be Whiteout versus McCaw. Whiteout heading down the track now, and Whiteout, just after Rose also does so, will score 3 points right off the bat. That's got to put a lot of pressure on McCaw, who has to score 3 points here to stay, and McCaw will only score 1. So Whiteout will be able to move on, as McCaw does score, but not enough to pick up the win. We're now going into the final heat here, and it's going to be Milky Way taking on Locust, who will take that last spot in the quarterfinals. Milky Way going to launch nicely into that first right section, picking up 1 point. What will Locust be able to do? Locust needs to score big here to stay alive, and Locust will not do it, bouncing off that back divider. Milky Way will join the other 7 winners in the next round of this event. So, all these marbles still competing will pick up some points for the leaderboard, but who will pick up even more? Frostbite gonna come down now in the first matchup, and that 1 point could be enough, but if Spearmint is able to score big, Frostbite will be eliminated. Spearmint coming down now, and Spearmint does not score. Frostbite will move on to the next round, as Spearmint will just pick up the 2 points for the leaderboard. Heading into the next matchup of the quarterfinals here, we have Whiteout taking on Ripple. Whiteout is going to launch first, and Whiteout will score just 1 point, almost picking up 3, and then almost picking up 2. Bounces out of both those sections. Ripple needs to score here to move on. What will Ripple do? Oh, Ripple goes short, possibly trying to bounce in like we saw Mallard do earlier, but goes a bit too deep for that and will not score. Heading now into the third round of the quarterfinals. Rose coming down now, and Rose back to back will hit 3 points. Rose looking unstoppable right now, and there is not much Paladin can do here. Paladin has to score 3 points to move on. Can Paladin do it? Paladin coming down and will only score 1 point. So, Rose moving on. Completely flawless thus far. Paladin will be eliminated from this event. So, heading into the last round now of the quarterfinals, that will be Milky Way taking on Mallard. Milky Way coming down first and will nicely rest in the 2-point range, going high off the ramp, almost scoring 1 point, but has enough momentum to carry into that 2-point range. Mallard needs a 2 or higher to keep alive, and Mallard will go short, trying to bounce into the 3-point section again, but just goes too short and will be eliminated. Milky Way moving on as we get into the semi-finals here. Whiteout coming down first against Rose. Whiteout gonna score 1 point. In a usual round, that could sometimes be enough, but with the form that Rose is on, that might not do it. Can Rose go 3 for 3 on hitting that middle section? Rose comes down, and Rose does it! Oh my goodness, Rose gonna pick up 3 points again and comes through with another win. Rose will go to the final, while Whiteout will go to the third place match against whoever loses this next matchup of the semis. And that matchup will happen now between Frostbite and Milky Way. Frostbite coming down first. What can Frostbite do? Frostbite scores 3 points, so we're really starting to see things pick up now. Frostbite looking very comfortable now to make the finals. Can Milky Way put up a fight? Or will Frostbite be moving on? Milky Way gonna bounce off that divider between the sections. So, Milky Way will go into that third place match against Whiteout, while Frostbite will be taking on Rose, though that does seem like an uphill battle. We're going to kick off the last 2 rounds with the third place match between Whiteout and Milky Way. Whiteout coming down now, and Whiteout will just barely miss that 3-point zone. Lands in it initially and just barely has too much speed, only picking up 1 point. Can Milky Way capitalize on that as Milky Way comes down now? Milky Way gonna bounce out. Oh no! Milky Way scores nothing. Look at this. Milky Way lands in the 1-point section, then lands in the 2-point section. Isn't able to stick the landing in either of them, so Milky Way will take 4th, while Whiteout will sit in 3rd place for this event. Here it is now, the final between Rose and Frostbite. Rose coming down first is yet to score anything but 3, and Rose won't pick up any points, goes too short, and will not pick up anything. Oh my gosh. Rose leaves the door wide open for Frostbite, who will capitalize on that perfectly, taking out 3 points. What a finish to this event by Frostbite. Goes back to back on the 3-pointers, and Frostbite will be the champion of this event. Rose taking out 2nd place. What will that do to the leaderboard here? As we see Whiteout will stay on top, Frostbite jumps all the way up to 2nd. Just 2 events ago, Frostbite was down the bottom, and after silver and gold back-to-back, Frostbite is a real contender here. Rose also going to move up from the bottom to 10th, and Milky Way going to pick up some points in order to stay alive in this fight.
For now, though, we will turn our attention to the event space, the next event, of course, being the Sumo Slam. For this event, marbles will start at the top of 2 opposing tracks, colliding in the middle as they roll down, and attempting to knock the other marble off. The marble that stays on the longest will advance. Taking a look at our very first heat here, we have Spearmint going up against McCaw. Who's going to be able to stay on the longest and who will advance to that next round? They're coming down the ramp. Ooh, and that's going to be a close one. I think it was Spearmint. Taking a look in slow motion, and yes, Spearmint knocks McCaw off. Spearmint will be moving on. Another round here, and it will be between Rainforest and Paladin. They're going to be making their way down the ramp, and that was another close one. Rainforest did look ahead. Yes, Rainforest hangs in there. Paladin will be eliminated as Rainforest moves on, looking in good contention here. The next heat will be between Whiteout and Typhoon. Whiteout making its way down, and Whiteout might be knocked out here. Typhoon will take it, and Whiteout for the first time will not score points. So we're looking now to our next heat, Martian taking on Honeycomb. Honeycomb, the only marble that hasn't scored, but that might all change. I think Honeycomb's done it here. They both collide nicely in the middle, and Honeycomb hangs on. Honeycomb moving on and guaranteed at least 2 points. The next round will be between Rose and Ripple, both of whom are sitting in the middle of the ladder right now and could definitely do with some points. Here they come, and it will be Ripple from the look of things. Both collided pretty evenly, but Ripple will just barely hang on over Rose, moving on to the quarterfinals. Going into our next round, we have Splatter taking on Locust, two teams that have had an up and down battle so far, and it will be Locust easily coming out on top. What a hard hit that was. Locust almost stopping on the impact, and Splatter is sent flying. Moving into the next round now, we have Amber taking on Frostbite, and Amber absolutely blasts Frostbite. So, Frostbite and Whiteout, our top two at the moment, are both out already as Amber moves on. Looking now at our next round, it will be Milky Way and Mallard, both sitting in the middle of the ladder at the moment, and that was a close one. I do believe it will be Milky Way. Yes, Mallard is first to fall off, and Milky Way keeps in that fight. Could Milky Way go all the way? We're now into the first round of the quarterfinals, Amber and Typhoon, and it will be Typhoon with a heavy hit on Amber. Amber will pick up some points on that leaderboard, but not enough as Typhoon advances. We're now moving into the next round of the quarterfinals, Rainforest taking on Ripple. Here they go, and a hard hit there sends Ripple flying. Ripple actually got off the ramp quicker, but Rainforest just proves too strong. Locust and Honeycomb up now. What can they do? Ooh, an interesting collision as they go out wide from each other, and colliding on the awkward angle, it will be Honeycomb that hangs on, moving into the semi-finals. Spearmint and Milky Way up now. What can they do as they continue this fight? Down they come, and that's a very even one. We're going to have to take a really close look, and it's a tie. They both come off on the exact same frame. They're going to have to do a redo on that one, but what a great round. And again, another very close one. Who will come out on top? And it's Spearmint. Spearmint will knock Milky Way out and will advance. So we're now coming into the first round of the semi-finals. Honeycomb and Rainforest. Oh, wow, and Rainforest has no mercy on Honeycomb, who struggles down that ramp, immediately knocking Honeycomb off and moving on. Our second semi-final here will be Typhoon taking on Spearmint. Here they come down the ramps, and it will look like Spearmint. Yes, Spearmint is going to take it out, advancing to the final. Typhoon will go into a third place match now against Honeycomb. Who will take that third place? Honeycomb slow off the ramp, but deflects Typhoon away, and Typhoon's own speed used against it as it gets knocked off. So here we are, 2 green marbles left in the first place final. They're coming down the ramp, and it will be Rainforest taking away the win there as Rainforest knocks Spearmint clean off that far side. Spearmint will still take away second place, but with Rainforest winning, we'll have to take a look at what that does to the leaderboard as Rainforest goes all the way up from 4th to tied first with Whiteout. Whiteout finally having some competition up the top there. And Honeycomb also going to make its way off the bottom for the first time. What a shake-up this event proved to be, as Spearmint also getting in the mix. This has left the door wide open for anyone to take out the rest of the tournament, and Whiteout no longer looking invincible. So let's take a look at what this 7th event will be, and it will be the Pool Plunge. This is an event that sees our marbles starting on the top of a diving board before jumping into a pool and attempting to swim to the finish as quickly as they can
with the top 2 marbles in each race moving on. So, jumping right into our first heat, we have Spearmint, Splatter, Paladin, and Honeycomb all looking to see what they can do. And off they go. It will be Paladin and Honeycomb off to a quick lead, but I think Splatter ends up taking it. Yes, Honeycomb getting out quickly off that dive, but just veers off to the side too much. Meanwhile, Splatter, taking a much straighter line, will tuck in there behind Paladin, who was in the lead the entire time, and those two will move on. Heading now into our second heat, we will see Mallard, Typhoon, Locust, and Rosé all going head to head. Who will take those next 2 spots in the semi-finals? We're going to find out right now, as a very, very nice dive there from Typhoon, taking the lead right out of the gate, and Locust will pick up second place, though not without Rosé putting up a close fight. Typhoon and Locust moving on as we now get into our third heat. This one between Milky Way, Rainforest, Amber, and Whiteout. Some heavy hitters competing in this heat, and they're off to a quick start there. Amber falls behind quickly, while Rainforest and Milky Way will move on. Milky Way just barely inching out Whiteout, who, as you saw there, had the lead early on, only for Milky Way to just barely get over the line in second place, moving on with Rainforest. And taking a look now at our final heat, we have Macaw, Frostbite, Ripple, and Martian, all looking to claim those last 2 spots in the next round, but who will take it? Off they go there, and it will be Frostbite out quick, but Martian takes the lead, only for Ripple to bump Frostbite, carrying both of them ahead to the next round. Look at this, after the dive it was Frostbite until Martian bumps out, and then Ripple, getting in Frostbite's slipstream, is able to carry both of them to the end, pushing Frostbite over the line. In our first semi-final, we have Rainforest, Ripple, Splatter, and Locust, all looking to move on to that final race. And they're off here. It will be Rainforest out to a quick lead, and another good come from behind from Ripple. Ripple unable to get a good dive once again, but just getting around Splatter will be able to take second place. Moving on just barely there, but another really nice comeback. And here we have it, our final round in the semi-finals. It will be Milky Way, Frostbite, Paladin, and Typhoon. Which 2 will move on here? And they're off, everyone diving in, and it's going to be an even fight for first and second. Milky Way and Paladin, not much separating them, but Frostbite and Typhoon definitely fall too far behind. Milky Way coming out quickly, but Paladin going to catch right up. It will be Milky Way just barely taking it, but Paladin will move on as well. And here we have it, the final race here between Paladin, Rainforest, Milky Way, and Ripple. Rainforest and Milky Way high up on the tables. This could shake things up, and both of them are off to a quick lead. Who will it be? It will be Milky Way taking away the win. So close there between all 4 competitors. Ripple starting off slow as per usual, but this time won't come back. And that's an incredibly close finish. Look at that, only a sliver of white behind Milky Way, while Rainforest is still touching the line, and Ripple also finishing just barely behind Paladin. You could not ask for a closer finish, but it will be Milky Way in first, and we'll take a look what that does to the leaderboard. Rainforest jumping up into the lead, while Milky Way jumps up into third. A huge shakeup, as for the first time since the very first event, Whiteout will not be on top of the table. Additionally, Ripple makes its way comfortably back into the top 8, while Macaw and Honeycomb drop back down thanks to Paladin and Splatter picking up some points. Rainforest, Whiteout, and Milky Way are the only 3 teams that have enough points currently to where they could win. However, from Frostbite down to Spearmint, everyone still has a chance of at least placing in that top 3. So without further ado, we'll jump into the final event, the Twilight Tumble, which sees competitors racing down a dark and candle-lit track, attempting to reach the end as quickly as they can against 7 other competitors.
However, this track is windy, it is curvy, and at the bottom of the track is a long set of ramps that will leave marbles dazed and confused. Who will be able to traverse this wild landscape the best? Let's find out now as we get into the very first heat of our marbles here. 8 marbles will be competing in it, and those marbles are Paladin, Typhoon, Ripple, Rainforest, Rose, Martian, Macaw, and Frostbite. Who will come out on top and take those first 4 places in the final? We'll find out now as they're underway. It's going to be Rose out quick, but a good angle there sends Macaw to the front, only to be bumped out by Paladin, and Rose going to come back hard there at the end. Not enough to get first place, but enough for second as Paladin, Rose, Macaw, and Rainforest move on. Look at this good line that Macaw manages to find, getting far out in front, but the other marbles will bunch up, and look here as Rose gets a bump from Ripple, completely stopping Ripple's progress and allowing Rose to catch back up and move on. So, here we have it, the second and final heat. Amber, Locust, Honeycomb, Milky Way, Splatter, Mallard, Whiteout, and Spearmint, all looking for those last 4 spots in the final. And there they go. It's going to be an even bunch at the very start, but it will be Splatter who gets a quick lead and gets a bump ahead. Splatter, no worries whatsoever, takes that. Whiteout, Milky Way, and Locust all will move on. So between Whiteout, Milky Way, and Rainforest from the previous race, all our top 3 will be in the final, and Honeycomb, as per usual on the bottom of the leaderboard, will not actually finish the race. Look at this quick start here as Splatter does a very nice job of blocking everyone out, allowing Splatter to have a huge lead. Meanwhile, Whiteout, Milky Way, and Locust bunch up together, Whiteout taking second, Milky Way third, and Locust fourth. All those 4 will move on and will pick up leaderboard points, so let's get to it. Splatter, Milky Way, Rose, Macaw, Paladin, Whiteout, Rainforest, and Locust will make up the top 8 and will be competing in the final right now. There we go, the very last race of this tournament is underway, and it will be Locust out quick. Whiteout takes the lead. Whiteout's going to take it, and Whiteout crosses the line in first. Could that be enough to let Whiteout take the top of the leaderboard back? As Rainforest and Milky Way do finish high up as well, it's going to all be in question here. But look at this nice start by Whiteout, only for Whiteout to get a bump from Rose. The one thing that allowed Rose to qualify here ends up being Rose's undoing and is Whiteout's success story, as Whiteout takes away the win. But the biggest question of all is what that will do to the leaderboard, as Locust, Milky Way, and Rainforest were all hot on Whiteout's heels. Will that be enough to bump Whiteout up? The scores are coming in now, and it will be enough for a tie. Whiteout and Rainforest both finishing on 35 points, and it's worth mentioning that the official tiebreaker is whoever had the most first place finishes, but as that is also a tie, they will be our joint champions. Milky Way also going to hang on to third, just barely ahead of Locust, who takes fourth. And looking down the leaderboard, we also have a few more marbles raising up after what was an exciting event. So that'll do it for this entire series of the Amateur Marble Association's inaugural tournament. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope this has been as thrilling of an experience for you as it was for me, but that's all we've got time for here, so I'll leave it at that. Good night.